Welcome back, guys. If this is your first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you immediately get notifications of when I post something new. Today we're doing part 3 of Soleil's feet handling. I know I skipped part 2. It's okay, guys. Part 2, all it is rubbing down up and down their legs with your hands rather than the rope. Just like this. So now part 3, you're going to add in actually picking up the hoof, the foot, and holding it. So typically, actually, what I do part 3 is pick up the hoof, so asking for that pickup. When you actually get a pickup, then you let it go. Now I'm actually working on the hold. So I know that's a little jumbled here. So what I mean by that is rub down up and down the legs, make sure they're good with that. And then we're actually going to squeeze the chestnut. What's the chestnut? It's that little bitty bump on the side of the horse here that's shown in this picture. And you're going to squeeze that. Some people don't like doing that. That's the cue that I give. It doesn't hurt the horse. You're just going to squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Kind of start twisting it if they don't release that pressure, picking it up, and move on from there. So you're going to hold it and just basically teach that's my command to give. Now, when the horse gives that leg, you're going to immediately drop it and reward and go back to rubbing. It's very important when you're doing that. And let me stress, very important when doing this, that you always go back and rub. A lot of people say, oh, my horse picks up his feet without me asking. And yeah, that's great, but your horse is confused on what your actual cue is. So what happens if all I'm doing is wanting to put legacy boots on instead of actually picking up their hoof, and they're sitting there with their legs tossing it up in the air, kind of like how he kind of does. It's because you never rub your horse's legs down. So when I rub my horse's legs down, actually touching the leg, and especially if your horse gets cut and you have to do medication or anything, you want to make sure you can rub your horse's legs down without him picking his feet up. Once you get that, then you do the cue. Make sure we do the cue that you're rubbing down each time. I know it sounds tedious, but trust me, it's amazing work. So let's go on and get started with, I guess it's not even part 3, it's part 4 since I skipped 2 and 3. I'm really sorry, guys. I will do a video on that here soon. But we're going to go ahead and do part 4 where we actually teach the horse to hold the leg for a couple seconds here. I know you've kind of seen it. I'm going to copy it, move it over, and that way I can explain what I'm doing here. Okay, so first comes first. You want to, make sure that you can rub down the horse's legs without the foot being picked up. I'm stressing that because people skip this step all the time, and they come to me like, well, my horse just throws his leg up in the air. No, that's why, because you don't rub its legs down. So I'm going to ask for my cue to pick up, which is that chestnut. Now I'm going to hold it for a few seconds, and then I'm going to drop it and release that pressure and rub him. Okay, that's it. You're going to hold it in the farrier stance, let him go when he releases that pressure. Okay, when he's standing pretty good, that's good. Okay, and I'm just going to keep practicing this. So front feet I always put between my legs, get them used to that farrier stance. Back legs, I'll actually put them on top of my leg. I'll show you here in a second. I look terrible in this video. Sorry, guys. So you can see I'm doing multiple repetitions of this. Don't think that your horse is going to learn it completely by just doing one pickup and then moving on. You definitely want to make sure, you don't jump from learning the ABCs. You don't go A, B, A, B, C, and then you go D, E, F, G, and then you just completely forget about what you just said at the beginning. You're going to go A, B, C first day, and you're going to go A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. Then you might go A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, and you're going to keep that repetition because you've got to get it ingrained in your brain. That's what I mean. So if you don't let your horse practice, how are you going to expect good results? So I know I'm continuing to do this. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit, see if we can go ahead and move on to the next foot. And I said that, and we're moving on to the next foot now. That's kind of funny. So back legs, same thing. I'm going to rub up and down. You can see he's a little nervous. So, like I said, he's very reactive on his hindquarters when I first got him. So, what do you think we did a lot of? rubbing up and down his legs, rubbing on top of him, getting him used to me around his hindquarters. Now I'm going to actually squeeze the hock to pick it up. You can tell I let it go because he got a little nervous. We'll just say, hey, I just want to make sure you know how to pick up your foot. So my cue for the back foot is to actually touch the hock. And you might be saying, well, what's all that medicine on him? That's him getting into stuff. Horses, when we put him out in the pasture, he got in an argument, a horse going after him. She's separated now, but he's definitely a low man on the totem pole when she's around. So kind of took that one day to be like, okay, we're going to separate you. So it looks terrible now. It's better now. Okay, so now I'm going to actually rest it on my leg there and then let go. I want him to know that he's not trapped. A lot of people, the typical predator thing to do is what? Hold it there. And the horse is sitting there like, please let me go, please let me go. And they say, no, you're going to stand. So what if we do opposite? A horse is going to expect that. So what if we do the opposite and say, just hold it for a second, let go. Hold it for a second, let go. Now they're kind of having to think, okay, maybe they're not out here to kill me. Maybe they're not going to eat me. They're not trying to take away my leg power. That's what you have to remember. Don't do what a typical predator would do. Like, you know, you've seen those farriers. They grab the hoof and they're saying, you're not getting away from me today. And the horse is just sitting there panicking. We want to teach them gradually increase that hold time so that we can do this. So now the next day, I'll hold it for maybe 3 seconds. And then the day after that, maybe 5 seconds. You know, and gradually build up. It all depends on the horse. I think with Soleil, it took this practice, then a couple more days of holding it, and then he was like, okay, I'm good. And we were able to move on to the next step. So really be able to read your horse, see how well he's progressing. Never feel hesitant to ever give me a call, shoot me an email, Facebook message, anything, YouTube message. I don't know if you can do that. I think you can message on YouTube. Don't feel free to do that. Say, hey, here's a video of my horse and I. Where are we? Should I keep going? Should I wait? Kind of thing. I'll be happy to help you there. So just like that. So we do this on all 4 feet. And make sure there's no holes. Make sure there's no oh no spots. And be good for that there. Now, can you teach your horse to pick up its feet at a different spot? Absolutely. You know, a horse is going to understand. They learn by the release of pressure. I personally like the chestnut because it's effective. It isn't hurting the horse. I think it's high enough up where the horse can make a difference. You know, I like the chestnut because that's just how I've been trained. It's easy to grab. You're not sitting there on their tendons or anything, pulling those. Super easy. Okay, so now we've practiced a good amount of time. Now let's see about this last hind foot. Okay, we're rubbing up and down. He's good with that. Now, what do I mean he's good with that? I don't want him moving. I don't want him picking his leg up like that saying, hey, I'm sensitive there. I want him to just stand there until I actually give the cue to pick it up. And the cue is what? The hock. Okay? Hold it for a couple seconds. Let it go. Same thing. You'll notice a lot of horses that have feet handling issue are kind of like Soleil. Very nervous around the hindquarters because what? That's their running power. When you take that foot away, you're taking away that running power. Okay, I didn't ask for him to pick it up, so I'm just going to keep rubbing. So the biggest thing is to make sure you're in a safe spot where he can't kick you. And if he wants to pick it up, rub, 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 rub. Keep rubbing until he finds the right answer. What's the right answer? To stand still. And Kendra wanted to say hi. Stand still and make sure. Stand still and don't pick up your foot till I give you the cue. Okay, and that's basically it for this part. From here, we're going to keep on working on holding his feet. You want to be able to hold it for a good solid couple minutes. is your goal. So, you know, I said you might add a couple seconds each time. You know, if your horse is doing really well, add 30 seconds. See kind of where they're at and just keep progressing from there. And make sure to tune in for our next video coming out soon on the next stage of speed handling, where we actually use farrier tools and get the horse. You don't even have to use tools. You know, it might be a stick or something. Getting them ready for the farrier. And then we have getting them ready for shoes, which, you know, some people have their different beliefs. Personally, I don't like shoes on my horses, but, you know, like Soleil needs shoes to be able to walk on the rocks. We have very rocky property out there. He's very sensitive, very thin. He needed shoes. It happened. How do I get my horse prepared for that? Because you're basically having a weird sensation on their hooves. It's vibrating. You're whacking them. You know, it doesn't hurt them, but it feels different. So we're going to go through that progress there. So make sure if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. If you hate it, I guess you can give me a thumbs down. But guys, make my day. Thumbs up. Comment below what issues you're having with your horse if you like this video, if you like all my videos and the channel itself. Make sure to share off to your friends, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank y'all.